Hi all, this is Miss Adler of Solly B. Mathis Elementary School, and this lesson activity is for 3rd grade through 5th grade. This is the abstract portrait, and I'd like you guys to draw and color in monochromatic. I want this to be more broken down and not exact, not precise as an actual portrait. So you see it looks really wild, but I want you guys to get an idea and feel for how the face and features on the face work, especially the hair. So what you'll need is our crayons or colored pencils or markers, or all three. The ones that I've been doing here have been just marker and crayons. I use a black or dark crayon or black marker to go over the lines I've drawn, every single line I drew in pencil, because it'll make the portrait pop. So this is how we draw a face. We are going to divide the paper into 4 sections, and so it'll make it a lot easier to do placement of the features of the face. So you can always pause the video to make it go slow and that you can catch up, and then press play when you want to move on. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our sheet of paper, and I've already divided it, but I'll fold it again. Is you're going to fold your paper in half and make sure that the corners match the corners and the edges matches the edge. And then you're going to fold it in half again. And then once you've folded it, you're going to open it up, and you're going to see 4 windows or squares, and you're going to see the invisible lines that your folds have made. And I'm going to draw in crayon, but absolutely draw in pencil if you feel more comfortable. I just want to draw it dark so you guys can see. The first thing that you're going to do, and we're going to use these invisible lines and place our lines inside these boxes. We're going to start with the letter U, and the letter U, and it's going to go from the top, in the middle of the top square, all the way down to the top middle square on the opposite side. So I'm going to just take my crayon, and I'm just going to draw a big U like this. And inside, where the center of your paper, you're going to draw a smaller U, and it's going to wrap around the center of the paper. You're going to draw a smaller U. It could be wide, it can be thin. It's up to you. Then we're going to draw 2 C's, one opposite the backward C and the forward C for the nostrils. And again, this is an abstract portrait, and it's not to be realistic. I'm going to make the eyes now, and the eyes are 2 curved lines, one on each side, that goes from the top of the small U to the outer edge of the large U. You do it on the other side. And then you're going to draw again another curved line from the top of the U to the outer edge of the large U. Then you're going to make eyelids. I'm going to put a curved line underneath my first line, and then I'm just going to do one line over to make them big. And then I'm going to draw the iris and the pupil. You know, the iris is the color of your eye. I'm just doing in a sideways C. And the pupil is the dark circle in the center of your iris that receives light. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, iris and pupil. Then we're going to do the mouth, and that is between the bottom of the small U to the bottom of the large U, somewhere in the middle. You're going to draw from the invisible line. I'm going to draw a curved line on one side and then a curved line on the other. Then I'm going to draw a long stretched out U to connect. And then I'm going to draw a line inside between the curved line and the long line. And before I get to the hair, I'm going to do the ears. There can be a C line. I'm doing backwards, and then a C shape forward, the letter C. And from the eye down towards where the nose is, I'm going to draw, because I want to separate the colors here, I'm going to draw a line from the invisible line to the nose, and then another one down to the end of the large U. And if you have room, draw a neck by drawing two lines. You can draw a neck all the way down, or if you can draw a collar, if you have room. Then shoulders, I'm just gonna draw a line that will go towards the end of the page. And it's your choice if you want it curved or if you want it straight down, angular. The next that's the hardest thing is the hair, and you want to make your hair and your hairline and your head especially is not flat. You're going to make your hairline is actually about a 1/4 inch to any length or width. But just imagine, I'm just going to put a curved line above here to make that a scalp. Your hair is actually from the ear all the way up to the other side of the ear, and you also have a hairline here. So when you draw a portrait, and we drew this U, it is not right to have a straight line to make that the top of your head. If you feel your head, your scalp, you notice that your hand wraps around, it curves around your head. It's not flat like the tabletop. So if you are a guy, you can draw your hair any way you want, as long as it's rounded, it's not flat, and that would be more accurate for hair. You can also draw texture if you'd like inside your hair, if you would like, and you can start coloring like this. And I prefer more monochromatic, which means one family of color, one color. I'm using the greens. But if you are a boy, you can start with your hair. If you'd like, also, if you have, spiky hair, you can also do lines of circles, and that they can be three-dimensional, coming across the face here. You can do that. And I'm drawing lightly. If if this isn't what you're thinking, certainly do any type of hairstyle you want, just as long as you do not put a straight line to connect the top part of the U, because none of us have flat heads. We don't. For the ladies, I have some ways to make hair here. Again, I made the hairline here as a dotted line, and that's the top of your scalp, and or your scalp is right here, and it's about an inch away from your hair. And also anyone who has braids or straight hair, I think that drawing the curved lines that can go across the near the eyelid is fine. If you have a short ponytail, you can always show your barrettes and beads, and have them go across the shoulder. And everybody has texture with their hair too, and I like using and it takes some time and practice. I drew a light line here, but you can always draw a S shape for the braid, and then I come back in, and then I go back and do another S shape. And if it's more complex, you can always put curved lines in between your the braids of hair. There are so many ways you can make hair here, and if you have just short hair, that's fine too. And if you want to make a pattern with the braids, and certainly if you have any questions, please put those comments in the hello part of of our teams. And I just want you guys to take your time when you're doing your portraits. This one is not meant to be done in one sitting. This is meant to be done in a few. I have students saving their work in their classroom, so then they can come back to their class. And then you may get started with coloring. Once you have the setting for your hair, you can start coloring it in any type of color you want, with the colored pencils, or just even with crayons. You can color it in lightly by putting in just a little bit of pressure on your paper, or you can put more pressure to show a little bit more value on your piece. I'm going to use maybe one side warm colors and the other side cool colors. But you may certainly use any color you want with your paper. And in the end, definitely put a black marker or a black crayon to show the lines and the patterns that you drew with your portraits. I love to see them. And having those four corners, those four squares, really help with your placement of your faces. And this, again, I think is one of the best ways of learning how to draw a portrait, because of it being so abstract and so broken down, that everything should be exaggerated and over the top when you do these drawings. So I hope you enjoyed this activity. This takes a lot of practice, and if you have any questions, I can put my email up to for you to comment, or if you want to take a picture and send your progress or your work, I'm happy to see it. And I miss you guys, and this is very hard going through, but everybody needs to be safe and healthy and comfortable. And I want all of us to get through this together. And this is Stephanie, Miss Adler, and I'm signing off. I hope you guys have a good weekend.